Hey champs, my name is Nick and today we are going to discuss about something that has to be said. It may not be the thing you want to hear, but once you finish this video you'll be like, damn, I think he's right. So let's begin with a simple thought. Do you often imagine yourself driving that perfect car of your dreams? Or living in that big house with an endless view of your own forest? Simon Sinek's book Start With Why, which I've read a while back, he writes that studies show that 80% of Americans don't have their dream jobs. He writes that this is due to the fact that organizations are not really inspiring their employees. But I think the biggest reason behind it is that the people in those organizations don't want to be there in the first place. And here is another very interesting study. Only 27% of college grads have a job related to their major. Most people spend years learning and specializing in something that goes down the drain when they face real-life employment. Just by knowing these two things, it's getting kind of obvious why people's dreams are getting useless. They work something they don't want, and on top of that, it's not even the thing they've learned in college. Let's face it, you are stuck with it 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Whether you like it or not, it will impact your life in all sorts of ways. First, it will destroy your balance, it will affect your health, it will stress you more often than not, and you will bring that negative energy at home with your loved ones. So yes, if you're stuck with a job you hate for 8 hours a day, it will destroy your life in all sorts of ways. But this is not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that most people know what they should do to pursue their dreams, but they never take the first step, and time is passing by in a blink of an eye. Before you know it, you're in debt to your neck, and you must work unless you want to be out on the street with your family. Experience can teach you a lot. As a matter of fact, experience and failure are the two best cosmic teachers. Without getting frustrated because of our failed attempts, we can never discover ways that work. It is very rare to have only one happy and successful relationship for the rest of your life. You should probably screw up a few times before being in one that works. It is impossible to be good at some sport without losing a match. Just like it's impossible to be successful without finding 1,000 ways that don't work. So without further ado, here are the 5 things that will make your dreams come true. Without them, you'll be wandering lost and aimless for the rest of your life. Not to mention that without them, you'll be never able to fulfill your dream life. Before we begin, if you guys enjoy watching these videos, make sure to do me a quick favor by gently touching that like button with your finger or your mouse. You don't need to destroy it this time. And make sure to subscribe on my YouTube channel and let me motivate the out of you. Thank you for doing that. Now let's begin. Number 1, screw up over and over again. This is the test that life throws at you. It will test you and test you until you figure out why you've been doing it wrong the whole time. Most of us don't realize how important it is to fail. Usually take it as a defeat and never try to make it work afterwards. This can also be taken as an example for everything in life. Some people get so burned up in the first relationship that they never try to commit in another one again. We take loss and defeat as final and we keep it with us in everyday life. And in the long run, this results in the wrong job, financial dependency, wrong relationships, and bad marriage. All of this just because we're too afraid to keep on screwing it up until we find ways that work. Don't be afraid to screw up, champs. The biggest lessons are learned when you keep on screwing up until you learn why you've been screwing it up and what you can do to make it work. Number 2, keep on trying until you become desperate. Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. You touch the concrete with your chin when you have no option but to go above that. You realize that there is an immense power in all of us. Touching the rock bottom made us realize that, because in those moments of despair, we find the real inner power that we have, and is available to us at all times. That is the moment when your mind opens to the next dimension of your capabilities. You remove time out of the equation and you work with full steam to get the thing that you want. No matter if it's about starting a company, working on your project, or simply being desperate because of your last relationship. The only thing you need to make sure is to not give in to despair. Stay with it, feel it, no matter how painful it is. As a defense mechanism, your mind will throw positive thoughts and ways to go through that situation. Focus on the positive thoughts more than the negative ones that keep on recurring. Number 3, the things you need to do are the things you avoid. If I knew this long time ago, I would have skipped years of struggle. I always knew what I should do, or at least give my best to try. But I was always avoiding that hardship. When I say the things you need to avoid, I don't mean about driving drunk or the things you clearly need to avoid. I mean that deep down, you kind of feel what's right for you. You simply can't explain it, but you know that you need to do it. And you cloud that step with justification. But I already have a safe job. Or I should avoid that conversation with her. Deeply, you truly know what to do. But you dim that gut feeling until it goes away. And you keep on doing it all the time until you have no gut feeling left. You settle with what you have. I know that you know what's wrong and right for you. Just like I know that it's wrong that you still haven't gently touched that like button. All I'm saying is that you shouldn't avoid that gut feeling. The magical weapon that is guiding you through life. Number 4, doing easy things is cowardice. That is why 80% of the money are in 20% of the people. Also known as the Pareto Principle, this rule suggests that 20% of your activities will account for 80% of your results. It was named after its founder, the Italian economist Wilfred Pareto, back in 1895. He noticed that people in society seems to divide naturally into what he called the vital few, or the top 20% in terms of money and influence, and the trivial many, or the bottom 80%. This connects with the previous point we just spoke about. If you avoid hardship and failure, you are going to belong to the trivial many. This is due to the fact that most people avoid these things all over their life. And this is really interesting. We have a natural way of creating equilibrium between employees and employers. 80% of the people avoid hardship and don't want to do what's uncomfortable. They will end up working for someone and have less financial freedom and influence. Most people will focus doing 80% of the work, which brings them 20% of the things. While the vital few will focus on doing 20% of the things, the uncomfortable, the difficult, and the things their gut tells them to do. Champs, I know you have what it takes to belong to the vital few. Just don't avoid 20% necessary things you need to do. Number 5 and last, success is not a choice. Success is your obligation. I stumble upon many people that say success is not really important to them. And I'm truly sick of hearing this all over again. Success is the ability to get from point A to point B successfully. This can be applied to anything: relationship, work, hobbies, sport, etc. When you wrap around your head that success is your obligation, you won't overthink too much. Don't give yourself choices to wimp, whine, and justify. Take action to make it happen. If you want to make anything work, sometimes you gotta dive in the uncomfortable. This is not a choice. It's your obligation to do what's uncomfortable, no matter the cost. The gap you leave between thinking and doing in time becomes a crater. It grows more and more and becomes harder to jump. Don't let your inaction become a habit. And again, this is not only about building your company. It's about every sphere in your life: friendship, relationship, education, or simply learning a new skill. We all have a dream, champs, but many of us don't do what's uncomfortable to make it come to its fruition. I've written a book a few years back, and this is really interesting. The tiny animal that is running in your home, this refers to the problems you keep on avoiding, grows to be a dragon that will press you and choke you in a corner. The more you avoid important things, the more they press you down and choke you. While this is not always the case, in translation, this may refer to failed marriages and relationships, unemployment, being poor, and even homelessness. Champs, don't let your own actions or inactions be the cause of your life of misery. There are things we just have no power over, like the weather, or what people say, what people do, what people feel and think. Just like we have no power over what happened in the past. What we have power is to take action in this given moment and make the present and future be the best time of our lives. Fill your life with great moments, abundance and profoundness based on the things you do daily. Would truly help me spread this positive energy and help me help other people in need by smashing that like button. You can definitely subscribe now by subscribing on my YouTube channel. I have a lot more videos in store that will motivate the out of you. Whoa, almost forgot to tell you that this video is one of them and you should definitely watch it right now.